Hello everyone, my name is Ellen and welcome to my channel where we get creative with everything art, design, DIY, and lifestyle related. Today's video will be a DIY video about how to dry leaves inside of books and what you could potentially do with them afterwards. In my example project, I will be showing you how I make a place setting for your Thanksgiving table, or maybe even if you're having an event or a wedding. If you would like to know all the supplies that I used for this project, I will be adding a list in the description below. Well, without further ado, let's jump right on into the video. I love maple leaves, so that's all I used for this specific project. The green ones dry really well, but I wanted the colorful ones because I'm planning on using them in my fall 2021 wedding. Guys, I have some serious premeditated DIY decoration planning going on here if I'm out in my yard collecting leaves almost a year in advance. But that's actually kind of what it takes for this project because the maple leaves don't change color until after my planned wedding date. Also, that being said, these leaves keep for a long time, so you can save them and use them several months later. Next, you're going to want to find some heavy books and some paper. Don't worry, I reuse all the paper after the project because using it to dry leaves doesn't actually hurt it. I just restack it and save it for later. For the first sets of leaves, I actually just stacked them between some heavy books. Later on, I'll start stacking between the pages of the books. And yes, heavy textbooks are the best books for this project. Next, you can start stacking leaves in between the pages of books. Make sure that they're spaced out considerably. I actually tried drying a few with the stems attached because I prefer having the stem still attached for a lot of these. Maybe I just find it more aesthetically pleasing for different projects. You can usually fit, I want to say 5 to 6 leaves on each page depending on the size of the book and the size of the leaves. As you can see, I kind of measure out or guesstimate the amount of pages to put the leaves between. You have to have quite a bit of space and quite a bit of thickness between all of them for them to dry properly. When you collect your leaves, it's good to get an assortment of different sizes depending on what you're planning on using them for. If you're planning on using the leaves for name cards at table settings, you're going to want to get the larger ones because you want it to be big enough that you can write someone's name on the leaf. I actually really like the smaller ones because to me they're just cute. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to use them for, but I'm thinking about incorporating them into my wedding invitations somehow. As you can see, I left the stems on the majority of these leaves. It's better if the stems don't overlap other leaves, but the probability of your leaves moving around when you move the book and the pages is pretty high. I collected way more leaves than I probably needed to, and it took me a long time to stack them. But I guess in this case it's better to be overly prepared. Here you see me removing the weight books from the top of the stack. These didn't have any leaves in them. I just used them to weigh down everything and press the leaves properly. And yes, my family was thrilled that there was a random stack of books sitting in our living room for over a month. For now, I'm just going to keep all of the leaves in a basket, kind of piled on each other. When you take them out of the book, just make sure that you have a place to put them where they can remain flat and won't get moved around. I plan on moving them into a box later out of direct light. I'm not sure if light actually affects the retention of their color, but I don't want to find out, especially since I'm saving them. A few of the leaves may get messed up while being moved or even during drying, so it's good to have the extras. If you're using the leaves to make name cards, you're going to want to grab a paintbrush and some acrylic paint. I like the look of metallic paint on leaves, so I reached for the rose gold. I'm not a calligrapher, so I wrote my own name. That seemed like the easiest option at the moment. I would recommend, if you're not super confident in writing other people's names or just using your own handwriting and spacing everything out properly, to do some test runs on a sheet of paper and then do an outline on the leaf that you can paint over top. I decided to dip the edges of the leaf in the metallic paint, and I really like the way that it turned out. Just be careful if you decide to do this, because some of that paint got really close to the handwriting and I almost ruined my previous work. And here's a quick example of another idea with just a dotted effect on the edges. It's a nice Thanksgiving leaf. Well, there you have it. It is a very fun project, but it takes a little bit of patience because you have to wait the 3 to 4 weeks for the leaves to dry. This method is also really great if you don't have a flower press on hand, or if you're just wanting to dry a large amount of leaves and flowers. In the future, I plan on doing a tutorial on how to build and construct a screw post flower press. I gave only one example of a potential project that these dried leaves could be used for, but they could be used for gift wrapping, holiday decorations around Thanksgiving, or even in potential cards, invitations, and that sort of thing. Also, if you guys have any cool ideas for what these could potentially be used for, leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear your ideas. For those of you who don't know me, I am planning my wedding for fall of 2021, and I may even be using some of these dried leaves in my wedding invitations and decorations. I still have to do some test runs though, so stay tuned for those videos. We'll wait and see how it goes. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like my video and subscribe to my channel. Also, hit the notification bell button for weekly DIY and lifestyle videos, and to stay up to date on my wedding planning process, because I'd love for you to join me in that. Well, until the next video, bye!